I'm Effie. I'm a Tiny Habits coach. And yep, I got laid off 18 months ago. Like many people in the tech world, I had been with the company for many years and had built a team. And one of the saddest things was actually saying goodbye to them. I felt an immense feeling of sadness because we had done so much work together, but also grateful. Actually, I had a lot of gratitude that my team had, they were so good. They were just wonderful people. So I was sad. I had gratitude that I had a great team, so lucky. And then I had a feeling of relief that, okay, now I'm not like anticipating getting laid off or worrying about it. It's like now I can kind of move on to the next thing. It does come with a lot of other worries like financial security, self-identity, self-worth. A lot of what I was feeling was like, if I don't have this job, this title, this salary, who am I? What am I? Am I anything? And I think a lot of us feel that way. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to feel that way. We are something. We are someone. And our jobs don't define us. We may be spending a lot of our time doing those things, but we're amazing. And these next things I'm going to share with you is to help you kind of realize what great things can you be doing. So let's dive in. These 3 things that I did actually helped me find focus in my day and kind of help me look at the positive instead of the negatives. So the first one is, whatever emotion you're feeling, let yourself feel it. If you're angry, if you're in shock or disbelief, go ahead and, feel that feeling. Part of it is part of growing and getting past it is actually processing those feelings. But the goal is not to get stuck with those feelings and not moving forward. Right after I was laid off, I would spend the morning, after I had my cup of coffee, this is my tiny habit, after I would get my cup of coffee, I would have my first sip, grab my journal, and then just write one word to describe how I was feeling at that moment. And inevitably, I would end up writing 2, 3 words, or maybe some bullets, and, once in a while, a few more sentences or some paragraphs of text. But really, the goal is to get those thoughts out of your mind to help you process them. And once you start writing them down and you see them in writing, it's actually quite freeing. It kind of gives you space in your mind. And so I highly recommend doing that. And just remember, just jot down really fast. You don't have to spend a lot of time doing it. This is for you, so it doesn't have to look pretty, it doesn't have to be perfect. There's absolutely no judgment and no filters. This is for you, so write whatever you like. The next one is, you could start blaming yourself, like, oh, maybe I could have done this or I could have done that better. Yes, we could think about like, oh, what could I have done differently? But over time, that's not really the most helpful thing to do. For now, I think a better exercise is to think about, what am I good at? Let's remember what good things I can do to help you remember your values, what's important to you, what you're great at, to give you confidence. So make sure to write down like 3 things as part of your journaling. Okay, what 3 things am I really good at? Is it work related? Is it personal? So you could go, I'm great at mentoring. I'm great at writing reviews. Yeah, that's always a tough one. Or you could say, I'm great at cooking or knitting. So, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be work related. And that helps you sort of remind yourself, hey, I'm good at things and I can do many things that, people would hire me for. So make sure to do that exercise every few days to kind of help you, build your confidence up again. And here's the exciting part. Once you start to process these feelings, it kind of opens a door to help you think about, what other things could I be doing, right? Maybe that's not the same job, or maybe it's in a different field. Maybe it's entirely something different. Maybe it's actually doing something on your own. So give yourself a chance to kind of dream and write those dreams down and figure out what else can I do beyond what it is I've been doing? Because now you have time. You can do that. And I think that's one of the things that was really hard to start for a while, because I felt like if I wasn't looking for a job, then I was wasting time, right? Like the goal was to get another job. And of course, I had to do unemployment, and I was looking, but I also made sure that I gave myself time to do something different. Dream about the next thing, learn something new, watch a YouTube channel about something that I've been interested in learning about. Sometimes dreaming about those things can help spark the next best thing. So you never really know. So what have I been up to in 18 months? Well, I started my own business. I am doing work similar to what I was doing before in my corporate job, but now I'm an independent consultant. It was something that I always wanted to try, and man, it's just like the stars were aligned. In the past, it just things never really seemed to work out. I was probably a little too worried about a consistent salary coming in. And with my son in college, finishing up, it just seemed like a great time to try it. So I did. So most of my income comes from digital health consulting. So I'm still in the corporate world, but in a different capacity. It's been good so far, but I'm still continuing to try different things. The second thing that I'm doing is, I'm doing a lot of things, but I'm highlighting the big ones. The next one is I'm still doing health and wellness coaching. I'm a health and wellness coach. I'm also a tiny habits coach, which I use across different industries, whether it's in my digital health world, but also in just health and wellness. So that's something that I actually started before I was laid off. A couple of years, I had already kind of thought that that was something that I wanted to do. And this last year, I've been able to work with a company and do some coaching with them. And that's something that I really enjoy doing, but it's not like the biggest part of my income stream. And as you may know, you might have looked at my channel in the past. My channel was really focused a lot on health and wellness, and I've kind of shifted a little bit, and I'm shifting more to tech. Still like kind of a holistic view on, helping people, get their business started up and running. So that's like the third big thing, is like pivoting my YouTube channel and trying to be a little bit more consistent. So if you're interested in that type of content, make sure to stick around, leave a comment below, because this is my sort of push to try and get a little bit more consistent in getting content out there and sharing my story, in hopes that, what I've learned and the mistakes that I've made, you might be able to learn from. So make sure to stick around for that. This whole journey of being laid off is that it really opened my eyes that things can be different. I grew up in a world where you got an education, you got married, you had kids, you had a job, you work, and then you retire. And sort of doing things that were outside of that was not really honored, expected. And I think that's something that I am coming to learn, that you can do things that you do enjoy and make time for it. So yeah, so make sure to subscribe and like, and yeah, follow me on my journey, and I hope it helps you. And so remember, this is not the end of your story, it's just the beginning, and it could be something bigger and even better. And Nelson Mandela once said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." So let's rise together. I'll see you in the next video.